Don't worry, I'll turn it over. So we actually, believe it or not, we flip the canoe up and we get back in the canoe and we kind of, gather all of our gear and throw it back in the canoe. And he's like, okay, you don't say a word. Not a word. Not a word. I'm like, okay, we're going to be, well, I hope we're dry by the time we get home. So just to counteract that intellectual, he was an incredibly intellectual man, but sometimes common sense, there was a little disconnect there. That's what happens when your IQ is super high. I think occasionally there's a little bit of disconnect. But Jerry, I apologize. I swear to God, I wasn't going to tell the story, but I had. But I think you would enjoy it now.
But here's my question: did you guys end up in the right seats when you got back to the canoe?
We did, and actually we caught I don't know how many rainbow trout that day. So he was correct.
It's a good day.
I kind of have a similar story. We were hiking in the Jerry Canyon, and it was when you guys were having the house built. Yeah. And I can't remember, but you were doing something.
I was sick.
That was, we left you.
We
left you and went hiking.
She went away with mine.
So we went hiking in the Jerry Canyon.
We loved it.
And we got on this trail, and it says, trail closed. There, the trail's closed. Oh, don't worry about it. I've been on it before. But it does say closed, same kind of thing. So about, half a mile later, I fall and break my arm because the trail was not safe. But I wasn't going to say, it's not safe, let's go back. And I'm going to miss him. He was a great hiking buddy.
And I got this phone call that says, we're in the ER.
Yeah.
And I said, what happened to Jerry? She said, not Jerry, me.
It's even worse. So we're sitting in the ER, and I'm like, oh my God, Jerry, I gotta pee, and I've only got one arm. If they don't come pretty soon, I'm gonna have you unzip my pants, and I'm gonna have to. And then finally, we're waiting, and I said, okay, this is what we're gonna do. If they don't call us pretty soon, we're gonna go over to my office at the U of A, and we're gonna call 911, and we're going in an ambulance because this is ridiculous. But we got out of here, and I don't know how long
it took
us.
all day. I'm sitting home sick, and
Thanksgiving, right?
Yes.
Hey Betty, do you remember when you and Jerry were coming up to visit us, and I told you guys I was going to make your special breakfast, and then when remember Tracy?
Yes.
and when you showed up, I told Jerry what we were going to have. We're going to have ham and fried apples and eggs and this and that and the other. And Jerry said, "Oh, Harry, I can't eat that stuff. I'm on a diet. I can't eat that." Do you remember? Do you remember, Betty?
Yes.
And it hurt my feelings. Because I thought I was doing something really good. I know, but I made it anyway. And he tore it up. And he complimented me, "Harry, this is so flavorful, the combination of this and that and this and that." I mean, it was hilarious.
He was quite a guy.
I have one in the vein of the hiking stories and the gregarious nature of my dad. And this is from the trip that's in that picture there where he's standing at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. For his 70th birthday, Scott and I accompanied him on a hike down to the bottom of the canyon. We spent his 70th birthday camping out in the bottom. And the plan was a day hike down, a day resting at the bottom, and a day back up. And Scott and I had flights out the following day. And so we had a beautiful time, and we took that picture of him posing down there. That he was very proud of that picture. But then for those of you that hike the canyon, it's a long hike. It's not an easy hike. So the day we're leaving, we wake up at the crack of dawn, break down the tents, and we had to take our stuff over to put on the mules to go back up, and then we had our packs. So we probably hit the trail as early as you could when the sun came up, And we're hiking, and then Dad, in his usual way, starts talking to every person who passed. Chit chat, how are you doing? What trails did you take? How long did you get here? Are you spending the night? You know, did you stay at the Phantom Ranch? On and on, like every single person. And you know, pretty soon our plan of how long it's going to take us to hike out of this canyon is getting way behind. And then we rested about halfway up.
I think Baby Streak and White one.
Yeah. And then the toughest part is really that last bit, you know, because you're so tired and you can see the top, but it takes forever to get there, right? And we're hiking and the sun's going down and it's getting cold. And finally, Scott and I pulled him aside and we're like, Dad, you gotta stop talking to people. You're never gonna make it out.
Sociable now, you see?
And as it was, we were the very last people. We did not make it out of the canyon before the sun went down. The last like 2 miles were in the pitch dark with our headlamps. Oh my God! Trying to get to the top.
But now
It
you
took us
tell why he
12
does
hours
that.
to hike.
Why he did that? Well, you said
No, the reason he did that was that he wanted to rest.
under arrest?
He wanted to rest a little bit.
And chat.
Don't forget, he used the chatting as an excuse to rest. You guys used to do that on the trail when you guys hiked with him. Yeah.
As Betty said, he never met a person he didn't like.
No, never.
So is that it for a little input over here?
I went to Pakistan in 1975 and replaced Jerry on the Colorado State University project. Jerry went, at that time, Jerry and Betty were good friends.
Oh, yeah? Good thing.
Anyway, Jerry went back to campus, and then Jane and I came out to Pakistan. Now, Jerry had worked with Ford Foundation in Pakistan before, and he had a Dodge Dart stored in a garage in Colorado, I think it was, not certain. But when he started working on this project, he was with USAID funding. He was allowed to bring a vehicle. So Jerry brought this Dodge Dart to Pakistan.
Oh, no.
And he drove it. Now that was a good car there, because they had Plymouth vehicles in India so you could get spare parts. Okay, now, when you bring a car, import a car in Pakistan, the duty is based on the CC, the size of the engine, and the duty is astronomical. So it's hard to sell that car because the duty is 2 or 3 times the value of the car. So, but every year it's in country, the duty drops by 20%. So if it's there 5 years, then it's duty free. So Jerry left his Dodge Dart in Pakistan with one of our staff members of the project with the idea that he would keep it for 3 or 4 years there, and then they could sell it, and Jerry would, as a good economist, make a nice return on his investment.
By the way, he's told me that. And I have a car in Bangkok, Thailand, which I think you've been at,
Yes.
or been recently, and I plan on doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave my car there and sell it for triple the price I paid
Yeah.
for it.
Well, let me-
Years later.
Yeah.
So
Right.
he's
Well,
giving me that advice.
let me tell you the end of the story. We had an engineer there in Pakistan who he and his brother had some kind of business going which went kaput. And his brother gave him a big Dodge Ram Charger car, which he brought to Pakistan. The 440 cubic inch engine, 2 4-valve carburetors. He could not drive that. You had to go buy aviation fuel to mix with the gasoline to be able to drive it. So they somehow ended up grabbing Jerry's Dodge Dart and drove the Dodge Dart while they basically left their Dodge Dart, their Dodge Ram Charger sitting in the garage. So finally, Jerry's car got 5 years in. But at the same time,